Assessment Task 3 is a continuation of constructing our final concept. Throughout the presentation, key points will be spoken about as to why the concept was thought of. The purpose of this project was to re-evaluate and research many diverse controller concepts, also propose strategies and brainstorming methods to enhance the final concept's purpose, which is promising the user that it will benefit them. The areas that were focused on within the concept design was to make the user experience more enjoyable for them. Also, throughout the process, each design can show progression as well. It has implemented the final concept's overall design. Problem statement shows potential interactions that will inevitably figure out and understand the problems within the design. Once discovering the problems, it will further be able to develop positive habits within the contextualization and PVP product value proposition. Inevitably, Concept Modeling 1 was primarily about controller design. Consumers' needs and prototyping were the main concerns when brainstorming the processes of how the concept was going to begin its construction. Throughout the literature and state-of-the-art review, the people at University of Hamburg in Germany state that the controllers are being designed today to accommodate for motion gaming. The taxonomy shows how the controller will compare to normal standards, also the materials used within the product's construction. Simultaneously, the taxonomy shows the actions that the user will take when using the concept. Furthermore, within the taxonomy, it displays the interactions as well, describing what users may be more inclined to within the concept. The methodology displays data based on the persona's expressions towards the final concept. Procedures used to capture the information was persona mapping and empathy mapping. Whilst using these different brainstorming techniques, this will fundamentally explore the product's market target. The user persona explains how the design process should be conducted based on the user. During the user persona, it discussed the reasons for the product, reasons for the user to buy the product, personalities, interests, skills, and lastly, tech savviness. This allows the concept to fully be understood by the user. Empathy mapping allows the designer to accommodate to what people may feel about their concept design. Also, empathy maps show what they think about the product as they hear about it. Empathy mapping also displays to the designer what they will gain from the concept, as well show the pains the user may feel from the product. Throughout the results, information is explained through main focal points, which are discussed by showing major improvement from taking into consideration the customer's desires and needs. The research was conducted based on contextualization of the PVP, product value proposition, for the best possible way to find how it can benefit them and how it could either rival current corporations or make the user experience more enjoyable. Affinity maps allow the designer to further expand the differences within the concept. Furthermore, the affinity map shows diverse levels within a structure so that the designer can explain why the final concept was created to be the best one. The main focal points for the concept modeling section 2 were to accumulate all the data that was received from brainstorming. Subsequently, The information gathered enabled the final concept to express on the user experience and technological performances. Within the information, it presents that if the user feels satisfaction whilst using the product. Additionally, the concept modeling map conveys how the product has great maneuverability with also different components that will allow the best development for the final concept. Conclusions drawn from the information accumulated on the existing controllers formed by brainstorming methods show that it explains how the concept is user experience centered, which inevitably the research was dictated and determined on how the user would value the current design concept as it promises to deliver a better service. Foresights are a brainstorming method that showed the reflections on what the concept is and how it's going to benefit the consumer. Also displays what the reflections and observations that were made by the final concept design. Throughout the video, it shows a representation of what the final concept should be. Even though throughout the construction of the controller, it showed hardship, being that I couldn't find a touchscreen LCD monitor in time for the product to show its full potential. Subsequently, even though the product isn't fully functional, it shows a clear enough representation of what it will look like.